Good night. Wherever you may be in the world, thank you for joining me for another edition of the Truth Conductor Show. Saturday in Proverbs is today. Um, Proverbs is the one book in the Bible that has a chapter for every day of the month. There are 31 chapters in Proverbs. And when there's not 31 days in the month, just keep reading until you catch up. That's how you do that. All right. And the day is the 12th of April. Plus, today is a pink full moon tonight. All right. That's what's going on today. A pink full moon is tonight. So if you wherever you are, man, try to catch it. All right, because things are changing, man. A lot of the stuff that has been allowed to exist all these years and stuff, man, it's times are changing and time is moving fast, and you can't take nothing for granted. Tanya, happy Saturday to you. Um, you can't take nothing for granted now, and if that helicopter crash that happened in New York don't give you, man, you better be getting right. That's all I can tell you. Get right, because at a moment's notice, you never know when your time is up. You don't know when your time is up, so don't take it for granted. And a lot of people take it for granted that they got time, and they don't. Because I'm sure that family that was on that helicopter had some plans to do some other things in New York and didn't get the chance. Okay. All right. So please, 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 don't take life for granted, man. Appreciate every moment that you have, regardless whether it's with adversity or not. Man, appreciate it. Because there's a lot of people that would love to switch places with you. You think some of them people that was sent to this prison down in El Salvador, and it's more than just that one. It's more than just that one. Okay. You think they wouldn't switch places with you? You think they wouldn't want to switch places with you? Okay, and you get lost like that, and don't seem like you can get back, man. There's a lot to be thankful for, whether you realize it or not. Okay, so since today is the 12th, we're gonna start in the 12th chapter of Proverbs, and I'm gonna be reading from the Message and the New King James Version to give you a balance of what's being said. Okay? So let's pray and get in the word. Father, I thank you for another day around your word. Speak through my mind, Lord. Speak through my heart and speak through my lips so that I may precisely articulate this word to pierce the vision and the hearing of your children so that we can live the righteous lifestyle that you have ordained for us to live. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay. Um, so once again, we're in the 12th chapter of of Proverbs is where we're gonna start. Okay. The date is so we'll be starting with the 12th. Okay. Um, let's see, hold on a second here. Let me check something out. Okay. So here we go. If you love learning, you love the discipline that goes with it. How short-sighted to refuse correction. See, when you refuse correction, man, can't nobody tell you nothing. Okay? When you refuse, when you know it all, you got all the answers.
Can't nobody tell you nothing. That's how you become short-sighted. All right. A good person, verse 2, bask in the delight of God, and he wants nothing to do with devious schemers. Now, in the New King James Version, it says, whoever loves instruction loves knowledge, but he who hates correction is stupid. A good man obtains favor from the Lord, but a man of wicked intentions he will condemn. And see, and this is why I'm trying to tell you now, man, get right with God. Okay? Get right with God, because uh a wicked person ain't got a chance before God. Don't have a chance, and never will have a chance. Some of them go to church every Sunday and just as wicked as they want to be. Man, I told y'all when I lost my job from Metro, I just said, man, I'm going to church. I'm going to serve, and uh, you'd be surprised how many people that would come in church with an attitude and leave with the same attitude. Come in church mad and leave mad. Sit there through a whole service and leave out mad. Verse 3, you can't find firm footing in a swamp, but life rooted in God stands firm. You can't find firm footing in a swamp. Man, that's living that devious lifestyle. Okay, that's what that is. It says in the New King James Version, it says, a man is not established by wickedness, but the root of the righteous cannot be moved. And man, when you and this is how the enemy has gotten Christians tricked, because when you start talking about righteousness, they want to label that as being perfect. Being righteous has nothing to do with perfection, and everything to do with being harmless. See, when you live a righteous lifestyle, man, you ain't gonna hurt nobody, you ain't gonna lie to nobody, you ain't gonna cheat, you ain't gonna steal, you're not vindictive. When you live a righteous lifestyle, that's why you ain't got to, when somebody come up and ask you, you believe in Jesus? Them the ones you keep your eye on, okay? Because they want to use the name of Jesus to get you to drop your guard. All you got to do is sit down and watch a person. And if you know the word of God, you can tell where that person is rooted. You ain't got to ask them. You can know, because see, people will tell you what you want to hear. Let me say that again. See, people will tell you what you want to hear just to get you to drop your guard. Verse 4, a hardy wife invigorates her husband, but a frigid woman is cancer in the bones. Listen to this. A hardy wife invigorates her husband, but a frigid woman is cancer in the bones. In the New King James, and that's what I got. This is what I got. An excellent wife is the crown of her husband, but she who causes shame is like rottenness in his bone. I got an excellent wife, man. that's that's my I got an excellent wife. She ain't rottenness in my bone. I'm telling you. All right. Verse 5. The thinking of principled people makes for justice. The plots of the degenerates corrupt. In the New King James Version, it says, the thought of the righteous are right, but the counsels of the wicked are deceitful. And you can see that today in our politics. See, and this is what I like about Proverbs. See, Proverbs will show you how to live today. Proverbs will show you what's going on today. You ain't got to try to think back 2,000 years to figure out what's going on with Proverbs will show you what's going on in 2025, how to live in 2025. That's what it's going to show you. Okay? Verse 6. The words of the wicked kill, the speech of the upright saves. The words of the wicked kills, the speech of the upright saves. In the New King James Version, it says, the words of the wicked are lying wait for blood, but the mouth of the upright will deliver them. Okay? Verse 7, the wicked people fall to pieces. There's nothing to them. The homes of good people hold together. The wicked people fall to pieces. There's nothing to them. The homes of the good people hold together. In the New King James Version, it says, the wicked are overthrown and are no more, but the house of the righteous will stand. See, that's one of the benefits of living a righteous life. Oh, let me show you this. Wow, I turned right to it too. Listen, this is Psalms 91. He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God. In Him will I trust. Surely He shall deliver you from the snare of the fowler and from the perilous pestilence. He shall cover you with His feathers, and under His wings you shall take refuge. His truth shall be your shield and buckler. You shall not be afraid of the terror by night, nor of the arrow that flies by day, nor of the pestilence that walks in darkness, nor the destruction that lays waste at noonday. 1,000 may fall at your side, and 10,000 at your right hand, but it shall not come near you. And that's because you live a righteous lifestyle. Okay? Verse 8. A person who talks sense is honored. Airheads are held in contempt. A person who talks sense is honored. Airheads are held in contempt. And in the New King James Version, it says, a man will be commended according to his wisdom, but he who is of a perverse heart will be despised. And you'll know the difference, man. You'll know the difference immediately. That's something you don't have to guess and wonder about. Verse 9, better to be ordinary and work for a living than act important and starve in the process. Better to be ordinary and work for a living than act important and starve in the process. In the New King James Version, it says, better is the one who is slighted but has a servant than he who honors himself but lack bread. And that's the person that's always going around boasting about what they got, what they done had, where they been. And they ain't got a pot to piss in and a window to throw it out of. But they live in the past. They living in their head. You know, this is the person that's just living in their head. They more important in their mind than they actually are. It ain't got nothing. But in their mind, they're important. Okay? Verse 10, good people are good to their animals. The good-hearted bad people kick and abuse them. You know, that's just like here's a good example of this. This lady that they got over this Homeland Security that she went out and she was out somewhere and she shot her dog because she didn't like the way the dog was acting. This lady, Christy Gnomes or whatever her name is, she went out, she went somewhere and killed the dog because she didn't like the way the dog was behaving. You see, this is see, good people are good to their animals. The good-hearted bad people kick and abuse them. Uh, in the New King James Version, it says, "A righteous man regards the life of his animal, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel." Okay? Verse 11, "The one who stays on the job has food on the table. The witless chase whims and fancies." In the New King James Version, it says, "He who tills his land will be satisfied with bread, but he who follows frivolity is devoid of understanding." Let's look up that word frivolity. Let me look up that word so I can give you a definition for it. Lack seriousness, lightheartedness. They don't take nothing, they too playful. They don't take nothing serious. Nothing is serious to them until their back get up against the wall. Then they want everybody to drop what they're doing and pay attention to them. But in the meantime, they don't take nothing serious. Okay? Verse 12. "What the wicked construct finally falls into ruin, while the roots of the righteous give life and more life." Man, see, this is what. Let me give you another example of this righteous life. This is Psalms 1. "Blessed is the man who walks not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor stands in the paths of sinner, nor sits in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and his law he meditates day and night. He shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water that bring forth his fruit in his season, whose leaf shall not wither, and whatever he does shall prosper. The ungodly are not so, but are like the chaff which the wind drives away. Therefore, the ungodly shall not stand in judgment, nor the sinners in the congregation of the righteous. For the Lord knows the way of the righteous, but the way of the ungodly shall perish." Okay? See, this is what I'm trying to tell y'all. Whether you want to believe it, don't believe me, but you need to be trying to get right. Okay? Because time is nigh. You need to be trying to get right. All right? In the New King James Version, it says, "The wicked covet the catch of evil men, but the root of the righteous yields fruit." And verse 13, it says, "The wicked is ensnared by the transgression of his lips, but the righteous will come through trouble." Okay? In the Message Bible, it says, the gossip of bad people gets them in trouble. The conversation of good people keep them out of it. Wow. Well-spoken words brings satisfaction. Well done work has its own reward. Let me read that again. Well-spoken words bring satisfaction. Well done work has its own reward. In the New King James Version, it says, "A man will be satisfied with good by the fruit of his mouth, and the recompense of a man's hands will be rendered to him." A man will be satisfied with good by the fruit. What's the fruit of your mouth? Your words. Your words are the fruit of your mouth. Listen to this. In chapter 13, Verse 2, it says, a man shall eat well by the fruit of his mouth, but the soul of the unfaithful feeds on violence. See, so and that's why it's important to stay away from the drama. Because some of the very stuff that's coming out of your mouth could be some of the very stuff that you wish on yourself. Talking about somebody else, and you wish it on you. I'm telling you, man, but hey, don't believe me. Verse 15. Fools are headstrong and do what they like. Wise people take advice. And in the New King James Version, it say the way of fool is right in his own eyes, but he who heeds counsel is wise. That's the person that'll take advice, that'll listen. See, everything somebody tell you, there's a element of good in everything somebody say if you're just willing to sift through it. You'll find an element of good. But what most folk don't want to do, they don't want to take the time to sift through it. They'll just throw the baby out with the bathwater and get rid of everything. Okay? Verse 16. Fools have short fuses and explode all too quickly. The prudent quietly shrugs off insults. And that's what I'm working on, man. That's one of the things I'm working on, shrugging off insults. Cause see, my motto is, man, you got to teach people how to treat you. And sometimes you have to fight fire with fire. Sometimes you have to, and it ain't pleasant to teach people you not to be played with. Okay? Verse 16 in the New King James Version, it says, a fool's wrath is known at once, but a prudent man covers shame. And see, that's when I was having my dental issues. I was wearing a mask, and people like, oh man, why don't you just take the mask off? No, because the Bible says, that here, and this is a good example. A fool's wrath is known at one, but a prudent man covers shame. See, a prudent man ain't gonna go out and embarrass themselves, even if something is embarrassing to them. They ain't gonna go out and pour gas on that fire. They ain't gonna go out and be talking about that, exploiting that. They're not gonna do that. They're gonna cover that shame. Verse 17. Truthful witness by a good person clears the air, but liars lay down a smoke screen of deceit. And this is one of the things that has gotten us so divided right now. Listen, he who speaks truth declares righteousness, but a false witness deceit. We got so many people among us, man, that are deceitful. Saying one thing, doing something else. Saying one thing, meaning something else. Okay? And that's the problem. That is the problem. It's crazy, but that's the problem. All right. Verse 18. Rash language cuts and maims, but there's healing in the words of the wise. And in the New King James Version, it said, there is one who speaks like the piercing of a sword, but the tongue of the wise promotes health. In other words, see, this ain't no person. This is a person that's going to be calming a situation rather than gaslighting it. See, that's going to be show some sense and some wisdom and some intelligence that can be rational. And right now, we missing, see, and these are some of the things that we're missing. in the community as a whole is people that are being rational and not being emotional. See, a lot of people, are getting emotional. Well, look at Dodgers finding all of this fraud. How come ain't nobody going to jail? But how come they ain't telling you the fraud that they finding? They putting all these dollar amounts on what they done found, but they don't tell you where the money is going to. You mean tell me you can find fraud and you can't correct it? They don't show you no corrective measures that they've instituted, but they finding all this fraud. Something ain't adding up. And you got a lot of people that are, oh, look at that. I told you, I knew they were stealing, but they ain't showed you. Because, man, listen, we done had direct deposits since the 70s. It's how long we've had direct deposit. Rarely do benefits now go out in mail. Rarely. Most of the benefits that, especially when you're talking about Social Security, man, that stuff is direct deposit. And you're going to tell me since the 70s, over 30-some years, that people have still been able to, banks done closed and went out of business? And you still got people receiving direct deposits? Something wrong with that picture. And you don't know who it is? And you can't recoup that money? You finding all this fraud? No, man. Something ain't right. Something is not right. Okay? Where am I? Verse 19. Truth lasts. Lies are here today, gone tomorrow. In the New King James Version, it says the truthful lip will be established forever, but a lying tongue is but for a moment. See, lies will get you in the door. Lies would literally get you in the door, but it can't keep you there. Lies will get you whatever you want, but 9 times out of 10, you ain't gonna be able to keep it because you lied to get it. Lies will get you a brand new house, brand new car. Lies will get you in an apartment. Lies can get you whatever it is you looking for. You can lie and get it. But 9 times out of 10, you ain't gonna keep it. See, lies will get you in the door, but it can't keep you in the door because eventually all them lies. And I'm gonna give you a perfect example of this. Stephen A. Smith. You watch. He done lied to get in the position that he's in, and that boy gonna take a fall. And y'all be saying, True Conductor said that. I'm telling you, that $100 million contract he just got gonna be his undoing. Because he lied. He done lied about his resume. He done lied. And it's gonna catch up with him. Okay? Verse 20. Evil scheming distorts the schemer. Peace planning brings joy to the planner. See, evil scheming distorts the schemer. That's the person that's trying to get back. And see, this is why all of the getting even that Trump's want to do, man, that eventually he gonna lose the rod of his anger. It's gonna fail. The getting even that he's trying to do, eventually, man, that shit gonna backfire. The hole he digging for somebody else is gonna be the hole he's digging for himself. Because he's trying to get revenge. The Bible say revenge is mine. God say revenge is mine. That's not for men. So a lot of the stuff that you see that's going on, man, and just because you pretend that you know God, don't mean that God knows you. Let me say that again. Because you pretend that you know God, don't mean God knows you. Because if you ain't living the see, you got a lot of people out here, even pastors, that are talking one thing in the pulpit and living another behind closed doors. You see, they live in and this is and this deceit is what's because people don't know who to trust. People have no idea right now who to trust. I had a guy walk up to me and said, I'm gonna give you some money, but I don't want you to go buy no drugs. I said, motherfucker, look at me. Do I look like a dope addict to you? You keep your money. I don't need your money. You gonna sit there talking about, tell me if I give you a donation, don't go buy no drugs. Do I look like a drug addict? I said, man, I'm 72 years old. And do I look like I'm so you got the wrong attitude, and that's the way some people are. That's just the way they are. They'll come to conclusions with no foundation out of their ignorance and their fear. Everett, man, thank you, brother. Thank you, Everett, man. Thank you for that $50, brother. I see you. Thank you, man. Man, in fact, let me respond to it right now. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Thank you very much, brother. You're the first person to give me some money today. May there be many more after you. Man, y'all check out. He be posting. I saw you that you taking a couple of months off because you got to go and do some work. Uh, but man, y'all check out Everett, man. Check, he ain't for everybody. This brother, let me show y'all who I'm talking about, because he ain't for everybody. He is not for everybody. Okay? And if you go up in there with some game, you're gonna get your feelings hurt. Okay? You're gonna get your feelings hurt if you go up in there with some game. All right. This is the brother that I'm talking about. Oh, y'all can't hear it because I got my headphones in, but that's the brother I'm talking about right there. Man, this brother, man, in fact, if it wasn't for this brother, I wouldn't even be in this hotel. That's the goddamn truth. When I first got in here, man, I just didn't know how I was gonna maintain. Didn't know. Matter of fact, I had to pack my car up, and God said, "Don't move. Maybe you put your stuff, get out the room, but don't move." And man, this guy sent me $500. I ain't know it from Adam. Sent me five. Said, "D, go get your room." Didn't know him from Adam. But see, this is what I'm trying to show you, how God will use people. God will touch people's heart on your behalf if you living right, if you doing right. God'll touch people. Another guy, Bernie. Matter of fact, I met Bernie through him. Bernie is another guy, man. Sometimes Bernie said, "Man, here, man, said, this is God, this a blessing. This is just to be a blessing. Here's some money." And it will always be at the time that I need it. And I ain't know where that money was coming from. But God will turn around. See, that's how God will work on your behalf, man. If you only believe. Only believe. Just keep, even when it seems like things ain't going right, things ain't going the way you, man, keep doing, be right by people. Do right by people. You stay right. Whether people treat you right, treat you wrong, you stay right. And when you stay right, see, God can bless that. But God can't bless wrong. And that's why lies will get you in the door. God can't bless you lying. Let me say that again. God can't bless your lies. God can only bless your righteousness, not your lies. And you got too many people out here that are lying. thinking God, oh, look how God blessed me. God ain't bless you with that. Well, if God bless you with that, why are you struggling? If it's a blessing, because God say his blessings, he don't add no sorrow with it. When he gonna bless you, he ain't gonna add no sorrow with that. And not one bit of sorrow is he gonna add with it. So quit giving God credit for some stuff that you done did. You done manufactured and you trying to pretend like God is, but no, God ain't gonna bless that. Okay? All right. Verse 21. No evil can overwhelm a good person, but the wicked have their hands full of it. In the New King James Version, it says, no grave trouble will overtake the righteous, but the wicked shall be filled with evil. No grave trouble will overtake the righteous. Man, that's being right by people. What's going on, Andrew? How you doing? Okay? No grave. Listen. No grave trouble will overtake the righteous. See, and here again, when you live a righteous lifestyle, you still will cuss a mofo out. When you live a righteous lifestyle, but you ain't gonna take advantage of nobody. You ain't gonna hurt nobody. You ain't gonna deceive nobody when you live a righteous lifestyle. Man, this brother, man, listen, see, I'm God diggity dog. God diggity dog. This brother just sent me another $50. Okay? Dinner on me tonight. I'm gonna go get me a good one, brother. Well, tomorrow, because today is the pink full moon is today, and I'm fasting today. But tomorrow I'll do that. But I'm gonna fast. This is the pink full moon today, man. You know, today is the day of the full moon, and I'm fasting today. I haven't been as diligent about my fasting as I should, and I said, you know, I'm gonna bite the bullet today. I'm gonna load up. I loaded up yesterday, but I'm gonna bite the bullet today, man. I'm gonna get through the day. I'm gonna get through the day with a fast because it's been kind of challenging, and but I'm gonna get through the day. I'm gonna get through the day. Okay. Um, verse 22. God can't stomach liars. He loves the company of those who keep their word. And that's your integrity, man. That's it's walking in your integrity. That's all that is. And that's what a lot of people don't want to do is walk in their integrity. Because they are afraid walking in their integrity will offend somebody. Well, if you've offended because I'm walking in my integrity, then you just show me who you are. I don't need to be around you. If you are offended because I'm walking in my integrity, because I ain't gonna lie and scheme and cheat and deceive, and that offends you, I don't need to be around you. And see, and this is one of the things you got to see. You got a whole lot of folk getting mad with people who are showing them who they are. When somebody show you who they are, why are you upset? Because a person is showing you who they are. You don't need to be upset with that. They just saving you some time that you ain't got to sit down and figure them out. They showing you who they are. Why are you offended? Because somebody's showing you the truth. In the New King James Version, it says, lying lips are an abomination to the Lord, but those who deal truthfully are his delight. And see, and listen, y'all, we're in some very turbulent times right now. The world is in turbulence. And wicked people ain't got nowhere to run to. Wicked people ain't got no shelter. Them liars, them cheaters, them deceivers, them dividers who call themselves Christians, they stuck out in the cold, buddy. You think because you professing the name of Jesus and you lying and cheating and stealing and deceiving that God is gonna put you under his wing? Listen what it says. Listen, lying lips are an abomination to the Lord. Well, when you got lying lips, you're a sinner. You're a sin. That's an abomination to God. But those who deal truthfully are his delight. How is he going to protect those who deal truthfully and those who are lying? How do they get the same protection from God? They don't. They don't. And quit deceiving yourself. Okay? Verse 23. Prudent people don't flaunt their knowledge. Talkative fools broadcast their silliness. Prudent people don't flaunt their knowledge. Talkative fools broadcast their silliness. Oh, by the way, this is another thing about Everett. Let me give him a plug on this. Hold on. Let me give him a plug on this, cause he got a cologne out called Mr. Confident. Let me see where that's at. I saw it. Let's see. Let me Google it. Yeah, y'all check it out. He got a cologne called Mr. Confident. And let me see. Where is that? I just saw that. And he's running out of stock too. So get it while you can. Let's see where we got. I just saw that. Mr. Confident. Oh, I know how I do it. I do it like this. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah, here it is. Mr. Confident. Right here. Y'all check this brother out, man. Check him out. Okay? That's his cologne for men. That's his cologne. Brother, and you know, see, you can tell somebody that is growing because their surroundings, you know, their presentation is going to change. And from the first time I started watching this brother up until now, you know, he has, like, his whole presentation has just totally changed, you know, and that's what, and see, and that's how you gonna know how when a person start walking in their blessing. See, because one day soon I'm gonna go live and I'm like, wait a minute, where you at? You ain't in the hotel no more? What's going on with you? You see, because then you'll be able to say, well, something didn't change. But see, what most folk don't want to do is start at the bottom. Most folk want to go up to the top and walk into a storefront, right? And don't have no foundation. See, they want to walk into a finished product. They ain't trying to build up to that finished product. They want to start at that finished product and they ain't got no foundation. And then when they fall, those are the ones that end up probably killing themselves because of the embarrassment. They can't stand the embarrassment. They ain't been through nothing. You see? So everything came easy. Verse 23. Prudent people don't flaunt the, okay, I talk verse 24. The diligent find freedom in their work. The lazy are oppressed by work. In the New King James Version, it says the hand of the diligent will rule, but the lazy man will be put to forced lazy. You know who that lazy man is? Somebody who wants something for nothing. Let me say that again. See, that lazy man is the person that wants something for nothing. They ain't trying to work for it. They ain't trying to get it honestly. They'll lie, cheat, steal, scheme, do whatever they got to do to get it. That's the lazy person. Because they want something for nothing. But that prudent man is going to... See, look. Here's what is... This... Verse 14, a man will be satisfied with good by the fruit of his mouth, and the recompense of a man's hands will be rendered to him. See, so when you go out and it says well-spoken word brings satisfaction, well done work has its own reward. And see, but if it ain't coming the way you think it should come, then you don't wanna accept that. And this is the problem with most folk. They got their mindset on how they think their blessings should come. And when you do that, man, all you doing is just handcuffing God's hands. Cause if your blessings will come to you only the way you think they should come, what you need God for? How can God move on your behalf when you think blessings gonna come the way you want them to come? It ain't gonna work that way. Okay? Verse 25. Worry weighs us down. A cheerful word picks us up. In the New King James Version, it says, anxiety in the heart of man causes depression, but a good word makes it glad. Okay, anxiety in the heart of man causes depression. All right, but a good word makes it glad. 26. A good person survives misfortune, but a wicked life invites disaster. See, a good person survive, so it means that you can fall, but it ain't gonna destroy you. Because the Bible say a good man can fall 7 times and get back up again, but that wicked gonna fall once and be destroyed. The New King James Version say, the righteous should choose his friends carefully, for the way of the wicked leads them astray. And that's the company that you keep, man. That's all that is the company that you keeping. Verse 27, a lazy life is an empty life, but early to rise, get the job done. And you know that, and see, that's one thing I can say about my grandmama, boy. My grandmama used to say, early bird get the best worm. Early bird get the best worm. You got somewhere to go, and my My mama used to always say, boy, whatever you gonna do, get there early for them Negroes come and piss people off. She said, whatever you gonna do it before them Negroes come down there and piss them people off. Get there early so you get ahead of that madness. Cause when they get down there and piss them people off, you ain't gonna get nothing. Be like pulling the tooth. See? So a lazy life is an empty life. But early to rise, get the job done. In the New King James Version, it says, the lazy man does not roast what he took in honey, but diligence is a man's precious possession. And man, when you diligent about stuff, you ain't easy to give up and quit. When you diligent, you're going to stand your ground through hell, high water, no water at all. When you diligent. And sometimes people gonna have you. I got a clown now. Be, oh man, you been at this message all these years. That it don't mean nothing, but I ain't giving it up. I ain't giving it up. Okay. Verse 28. Good men and women travel right into life. Sin's detours and take you straight to hell. In the New King James Version, it say, in the way of righteousness is life, and in his path, there is no death. Let me read that again. In the way of righteousness is life, and in his pathway, there's no death. When you live a righteous lifestyle, man, and that's just being right by people, being honest with people, not taking advantage of people, is living a righteous lifestyle. Okay? Didn't say you didn't get mad, didn't say you wouldn't cuss, okay? Didn't say you wouldn't get angry, but you ain't gonna take advantage of nobody. All right? When you live a righteous lifestyle. And that's your protection. And I would advise everybody now, man, be right by folk. Because you don't know where your blessing coming from. You really don't. You see, and sometimes, man, I come up in here and do these things and, you know, get a handful of people. But look how God will take and bless you just with a handful of folk. Just with a handful of folk. You don't know who God is going to touch to move on your behalf. You have no idea. But if you're quick to be discouraged, if you quick to give up, God can use you. God can use you. God can use you. Because you go with the wind, whichever way the wind blow. And see, when you stand with God, through good and bad, you still got to get out and do your part. You still have to be thankful, even when you going through stuff. Because like I said, it could be worse. Man, look at that family. A whole family wiped out just like that. And they on vacation. Wiped out just like that. Gone. Get right, man. Get right. Do right by people. Get away from this drama and this revenge and this division and this animosity. Because it's only going to hurt you. It's only going to hurt you. So let me show you. This is Proverbs chapter 6. These are the 6 things the Lord hates. Yes, 7 are an abomination to him. A proud look, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked plans. See, a heart that's devising wicked plans, that's revenge. That ain't nothing but revenge. And you got folk out here talking about, these Democrats need to go to jail. That's revenge, man. And you gonna talk about God? God don't support that. You think God is with you? God is gonna be in your corner? And you out here getting revenge? feet that are swift to run into evil, a false witness who speak lies, and one who sows discord among brethren. Those are an abomination to God. When you're sowing discord, them Republicans, them Democrats, them conservative, them liberals, them women, them blacks, them white folk, you sowing discord. God don't support that. God ain't with that. All right? That's the end of chapter 12, y'all. Man, Everett, man, thank you, brother. Thank you for, man, y'all check that brother out. Everett Overton, okay? Once again, because he's been a blessing to me. I always have been. This is the, he had one where he just did his last, wait a minute, this how I can do this. This how I can do this. Gotta get this brother plugged. Gotta get this brother plugged. I can do it right here. That's how I can do it. Wait a minute. You know, and see, if you don't have a stream of income coming in and you depending upon your job, you might end up short. You might end up short if you ain't developing your own stream of income. Because as volatile as the situations that are going on now, man, you're gonna have to break free. And the only way you're gonna be able to break free is do for yourself. Do for yourself. And that's what a lot of people are afraid of, doing for self. All right? Man, I see y'all. Happy Saturday, everybody. Thank you.